Well, here we go. Mr. Beast has finally spoken out about his co-host's terrible behavior and even said that he was disgusted. I gotta say, I believe that this comment only came out because for the day prior to this, people were digging up old Mr. Beast clips in which he was saying some questionable things that I think were dumb jokes. But again, given the context of everything, and given the rules set forth by the internet, meaning you don't actually have to see any of the messages, you just have to have anonymous sources, and everyone will call you terrible things and cancel you. By those standards, Mr. Beast was probably feeling a lot of pressure, so he put out a statement, and the comments underneath it are absolutely bananas. The sweeping, the covering, the coping, the seething. We're going to go through all that right now. Make sure, if you haven't yet, leave a like on this video. And if you haven't, please subscribe or follow down below. I cover news 4 to 5 times a day. I'm also live at 1 Eastern every Monday through Friday over on Quartercast or on my Rumble channel. And this video, by the way, sponsored by me, my company, Coffee Brand Coffee. We roast our own stuff, ultra small batch. We have unflavored coffee. We have light roast, Ethiopian, Colombian. We have ultra dark roast, regular dark roast. We've got blueberry cobbler is our #1 flavor. We also just launched for a limited time our summer flavor lineup. And this, with promo code SUMMER, you can save 15%. Our flavor lineup for this summer is blackberry cream, hazelnut churro, orange creamsicle, and s'mores. Available in whole bean and ground. Promo code SUMMER to save 15%. Link will be in the description. You support the channel directly, and I give you a 100% satisfaction guarantee on my coffee. If you don't like it, I'll give you all of your money back. I know you'll love it. Add a little creamer, a little sweetener, unflavored creamer, a little sweetener. You'll love those summer flavors. Mr. Beast's statement. Over the last few days, I've become aware of serious claims about Eva Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. I mean, I will say, other than using their new fake name, pretty strong words for Mr. Beast. Disgusted. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove them from the company, my channel, and any association with Mr. Beast. So let me be very clear, okay? The whole they're stepping away is nonsense. Mr. Beast fired them completely. And now Mr. Beast is tossing them right under the bus. Probably where many people believe, folks that do terrible things like this might live. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further action based on their findings. Look, this is a massive liability for Mr. Beast. If he was using his brand, his channel, his clout to make connections with youths, he's literally opening himself up to massive lawsuits. I would strongly suspect that YouTube has told him, bro, you've got to get rid of this person or we're going to demonetize you. Like, this is very clearly what I believe. I believe that YouTube is involved. I believe that some people at the highest levels are involved. You're talking about a guy who has sponsors in the millions of dollars a year, big companies like Shopify, all this stuff, everybody in, quote, big trans, all part of this statement. And they're going to have to sacrifice Kris because the behavior is just too bad and too obvious. The messages are out there. Now, of course, if you look at what happened to, for example, Dr. Disrespect, and again, let me be clear, both are wrong, okay? Both are wrong. Do not be contacting, you shouldn't be talking to your fans like that at all, period. You shouldn't obviously be talking to anybody who's young. You shouldn't have, calling them daddy and all this weird, gross stuff. Okay. But again, I think this statement is fine. It's a legal statement. A lawyer wrote it, obviously. But I'll tell you this much. He's not taking any responsibility. And we know that third party is going to investigate themselves and find that they did nothing wrong. You know that the third party's never going to come back out. Remember when Linus Tech Tips did this? When one of his employees claimed that there was like bad behavior towards them because they're a woman? It didn't come out till a year later, and we only found out about it because it vindicated Linus Tech Tips. If it had found other bad stuff, we never would have heard about it. But let's look at some of the replies and the way the mainstream media is having an absolute meltdown. I mean, the Daily Beast putting it behind a paywall. Mr. Beast speaks out, confirming he will no longer work with them. By the way, they said he stepped away. Kris Tyson stepped away, but no, Kris Tyson was fired. Here's my reply, obviously. There have been several young men who have come forward that Kris was predating on your viewers. Why is it so hard to disavow this? Hodge Twins wrote, his name is Kris, and that dude left his family to talk to kids online. Kingman Lee, throwing this back in his face, getting 60,000 likes. Where Mr. Beast wrote, yeah, this is getting a little absurd. Kris isn't my, quote, nightmare. He's my effing friend, and things are fine. All this phobia is really starting to piss me off. Boy, I mean, look, I think obviously not everybody who's trans does this kind of stuff. But until that community and the community that sweeps for them, meaning the mainstream media, starts holding them accountable and stops covering for them, I think I'm going to assume that they all are. Because you should be policing your own. Nick sort of sounds to me like this, quote, Ava guy needs to be prosecuted. Raw news alerts. Gotta say 2024, the year of chaos and unexpected, but thank you for taking the time to announce this post. I don't know. You see, Jimmy, everybody is saying that you knew about all this stuff. Even your own employees said this, which one employee did come out and say that he knew. That's one random employee that worked for him for 3 months that might be clout chasing. I don't know. You see, smart move to distance yourself from him. He's clearly a liability. Here's Gays Against Groomers writing, we demand you fire him and remove him from your videos last year. We demanded you fire him and remove him from your videos last year when these screenshots were first exposed. You should have listened to us. Instead, you defended him and accused us of being phobic, shameful. This is an article from years ago, You're obviously not taking this seriously by still calling him Ava, this person wrote. This monster deserves zero respect or promotion of his delusion. I mean, everybody, did you fire Kris or did he step away from the company? Y'all have different explanations on what happened here. I mean, all these you see, holy, look at these comments. Mr. Beast just turned into Mr. Feast. Everybody, I don't believe you didn't know. Thank you for coming out publicly. All such behavior must be called out. For those who are doing such things should be arrested. 2, who is Ava? 3, you're claiming you fired Kris, but he's saying he stepped away. What actually happened? Obviously, he was fired. We warned you. You didn't listen. You deserve to be canceled. I don't understand. I don't blame it. I don't blame people for reacting like this. I don't blame people for going after Mr. Beast. Obviously, his tweet got almost 600,000 likes. I assume that a lot of people, are fine with him, are fine with his statements. But even, you see there's a lot of weirdos sweeping. Like, look at this guy. He goes by the name Bo Blacks. He looks, curious to me. But this is him sweeping. Like, how you mad about this? But said firm handshake in response to Dr. Disrespect. This is huge, weird incel energy. But this is what the left does, right? This guy is saying he's just doing cringe whataboutism. Like, oh, this person's bad, but you accidentally responded without reading the tweet all the way through, firm handshakes, and then deleted it 30 seconds later. So what? So what are you going to do about it? This is why these people are allowed to operate with impunity, is people like Josh Bo Blacks, okay? People like him ideologically covering for creeps is exactly why they operate with impunity. The people that are on the receiving end of this bad behavior, people like Josh Bo Blacks are directly responsible for it. creating a system in which people can identify as trans or be leftist and escape any kind of criticism or the eye of any valid criticism. Obviously, what Dr. Disrespect did was wrong. I said it in 500 videos. All I was asking for was some screenshot evidence, in which obviously we never got. The difference between Dr. Disrespect and what Kris Tyson did is that we have multiple screenshots of him talking to kids in an inappropriate manner. So what Josh Bowblacks wants you to believe is that because I responded, in a knee-jerk fashion to a tweet and ultimately deleted it, that somehow invalidates my criticism of Kris Tyson and him, operating under the Mr. Beast umbrella and getting unheard of levels of sweeping just because they're trans. I don't need to point you all the examples that, Bowblacks and people like Bowblacks and people like, the Rolling Stone are why these people operate with impunity. The Rolling Stone says, Ava Kris Tyson steps away from all things Mr. Beast amid phobic attacks. What'd they write about Dr. Disrespect? Oh, Dr. Disrespect knowingly sent these types of messages to somebody he shouldn't have, former Twitch employee says. Spot the difference? People like the Rolling Stone and clowns like Bowblacks who never talk to women or never worked a real job in their life and have never interacted with humans in real life and just sit at home all day, they think that somehow what Kris did is excused by what Dr. Disrespect did. It's disgusting, and the mainstream media and people who are sweeping for him, like Josh Bowblacks, are the reason that these creeps operate with impunity. That's why, because people sweep for them. I made a dozen videos talking about, obviously, how Dr. Disrespect shouldn't be messaging people. I only asked for evidence like any normal person would. But they're like, yeah, but didn't you? If you look at the replies to this, there's a bunch of idiots like that. A bunch of those people, Like, I can't help you when you enable this behavior. You're just as responsible as the mainstream media or anyone else who sweep for them and let them operate for years, predating on young ones by turning the other way. I think Mr. Beast did the right thing by firing him and speaking out in the strongest possible terms. I still believe he knew. There's no way he didn't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Did he know? I do 4 to 5 videos a day, every single day. So if you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.